There has still been no official news conference to provide information about the man behind the massacre, Mauricio Garcia.
In fact, his identity was only confirmed by DPS after we and other media reported his name. Other bits of information have come from sources talking, but only on the condition they remain anonymous. Fox 4's Sean Rabb has been looking into the investigation of the suspect. Sean's live now with more. Sean, what he's found. Sean.
Hey, Steve, I can tell you Mauricio Garcia graduated from Bryan Adams High School in 2008, immediately went into the Army, but couldn't make the cut. The DPS, as you said, in charge of this investigation. And part of the reason they're not talking is they don't want to make the same mistakes they made in Uvalde. They are searching, though, to try and determine what drove this man to such a dark place where he could take innocent lives and leave so many people in the entire community devastated. There certainly are a lot of questions about the shooter to be answered.
There's still an ongoing criminal investigation, even though the individual is deceased.
Security consultant Craig Miller, with years as a deputy chief in Dallas Police, says the 33-year-old Allen Premium Outlet Mall shooter, Mauricio Garcia's background is right now being scrubbed. The Associated Press reporting law enforcement sources say they're investigating whether he had interest in white supremacist ideology. And reportedly, he had a patch on his clothing popular with extremist groups.
But they're looking at what took place in this individual's life. They're looking at his phones. They're looking at his social media. Who had he spoken with in the previous 24 to 48 hours? Who had he been in contact with? Were there other people that might possibly have known what was taking place?
Investigators have spoken with his family members at this East Dallas home, though Garcia had most recently been spending time at an extended stay budget suites hotel. Miller says investigators want to know what caused him to fire an AR-15 style weapon at innocent shoppers, killing 8, wounding 7.
If he had created any sort of manifesto, what sort of information was he watching, observing? Had he put out on his social media? Where had his phone been? Tracking his phone, the location of that phone. Had he been to that address previously? Was this something that he planned? There are a lot of things. I think we all want to know the motive in this case. And I think that's really important to everyone. Why did he do that? And I think that this ongoing investigation gives us a lot of clues in that regards.
Mauricio Garcia entered the Army in June of 2008 and was terminated 3 months later without completing initial entry training. He was separated from the Army under a section designated physical or mental conditions. He was not awarded a military occupational specialty and no deployments or awards. The man, sources have told us, worked as a security guard.
The Army also looked at his progress in his training and how he was performing and the types of mistakes that he was making, and all that collectively helped to prompt why he was no longer in the military, or why he was removed from the military. And that's important, I think, for his employer. If he was working for a security company and working for a security company, for them to know what was going on in this person's past.
A past that may have played a part in the present pain and suffering of so many. And so right now, ATF, they've been tracing the weapons and the ammunition that Garcia had with him, and if they found others at his family home in East Dallas or that extended stay budget suites hotel, those weapons also being traced. They want to know where he got them, when he got them as well, whether they were purchased legally, recently, whether they were purchased on the streets. And so a lot of questions to be answered. Could have a news conference tomorrow or Thursday, but DPS trying to button up everything before they speak.
All right, and big praise for that responding officer, that patrolman on scene, not a SWAT officer, no weight on the scene, and shut it down. Thank you, Sean.
Yeah, I mean,
go ahead.
Okay, sure.
Well, you wanted to say something. Go ahead. We want to hear what you have to say. Yeah.
I did. I think the officer showed all of the Allen Police Department training. He shot Garcia from a distance in the head because he was wearing, again, this Kevlar vest. And so he had the shot. He made the shot. He used his weapon properly from a distance and saved, really, a lot of other people, perhaps, from injury or something worse.